Cause giddy red, giddy bingy, give malomo, giddy teddy bear. Are you your type? Be your own Valentine this time. Even if you have a Valentine already. Comment, please subscribing. Budi siapa ang like? Comment, please subscribing. Madam Bazala, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mamaneontshi and this is Mamaneontshi Chat. Welcome back, Voskat Maga. This was actually supposed to be our second video of the year, but it's actually the first video because the first video of the year it took me through some difficulties. So you guys will get that video. I just don't know when, but we move, I guess. So it's Valentine's month. It's February. It's the month of love. Why love is every month, but as so today I just want to take an unconventional way of Valentine's, cause giddy red, giddy bingy, giddy malomo, giddy teddy bear everywhere, and it's very annoying for people who don't have a Valentine or people who just don't feel like celebrating Valentine's Day. So today I'm going to talk about solitude, and I'm going to basically just align that with self-love, as well as practicing the 5 love languages for yourself before you practice it for someone else or for your friends or for your family, but to start with yourself. So first and foremost, we are going to define solitude, and according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, solitude is the quality or the state of being alone or remote from society. A synonym for that is seclusion, which means being shut out. So basically it means that you shut out the world and you just, pull yourself towards yourself. I know one person who used to say that a lot. So it's basically like you touching base with yourself. That's what solitude is. That's what seclusion is. So solitude is not loneliness. It's really not loneliness. It's actually just the time that you give to yourself, and it's very important. So basically, being alone creates necessary spaces for you to be able to reflect, for you to grow, and it gives you time for you to plan and visualize your life. And vision gives you the fuel for your life. So when you have vision, you know what pushes you, you know what drives you, you know what you want to achieve. And how else will you be able to achieve that besides being in space to yourself and being by yourself? You know what I'm saying? It also gives you time to learn to love yourself and to be protective of your space. That way it will teach other people how to handle you, because how you handle yourself gives other people the blueprint to handle you. It also gives you a space of healing, because a lot of people, I know myself included, have a lot of things that they need to deal with, and the best time for you to do that is to be by yourself, even if it's not necessarily you being away from your friends or you being away from your relationship or you being away from your family. Sometimes you just need to take those moments in a day where you just touch base with yourself and you reflect and you see how to unlearn certain things that you could have learned or could have been forced onto you or back. So yeah. And then another thing we're going to talk about is this thing that people like quoting. People like quoting the Bible even when out of context, and I once read a quote, I don't remember where I read it, but it said something about how if you fall in love with the person, they must match the characteristics that 1 Corinthians 13 says. So I just want to basically mention what it describes love as. So according to 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 8, I think, love is patient, love is kind, love is not jealous, love is not boastful or proud, love is not rude, love does not demand its own way, it's not a bully. In other words, love is not irritable, love keeps no record of wrong, which means it's open to forgive. Love rejoices with the truth, love never gives up, love never loses faith, love is always hopeful, and love endures. So I want to say that it's time for us to become all these characteristics for ourselves before we look for them in other people. So before when I expect motho a tlo nna patient ka wena. Are you patient with yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Do you endure? Do you forgive yourself? Do you endure through the hardships that come facing you, and do you persevere through them? You know, do you keep your own wrongs? Are you too proud to forgive yourself? Are you too proud to confront your demons? Are you too proud to confront issues that bother you within? You know, are you rude? You know, are you jealous? If you are, I feel like it's time to fix certain things before we expect other people to become those things to us. So I want to ask a question. Are you your type? It's just a question. It's just a question to pose. Also, the last thing that I want to talk about is the 5 love languages and how to basically align them and to practice them on yourself. So for those who don't know, the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, which means words make you really happy and reassurances really make you feel loved. The second one is physical touch, where love is interpreted through touch, and that touch also shows concern and excitement, and it's very important to people whose love language is physical touch to just be touched, you know. The third one is receiving gifts. So basically, when you get things that you like, you become very, very happy and you feel catered for, you know. And then the fourth one is quality time, which means for you personally, it could be a thing of detoxing and blocking out umhlaba and just, you know, being by yourself. And the last one is acts of service. So maybe doing things for yourself that you like, just to make yourself feel good and to feel happy, and consistently so, because you expect consistency from other people, but why are you not consistent to yourself, you know? So I have suggestions that this Valentine's Day, if you don't have a Valentine, don't feel bad. Be your own Valentine, you know? Spoil yourself this Valentine's Day. You really don't need someone else to buy you chocolate. You know, and if you walk into Pick and Pay and you go buy yourself that teddy bear, they're not going to know that it's for you. I tell what this boy. And everyone has this assumption that a person who walks into and buys that chocolate or whatever is buying for their Valentine. So long you'll be buying for your Valentine, who will then be you, you know? So I just want to suggest that we should all start speaking our own love languages fluently before we expect other people to. So if your love language is words of affirmation, I want to quote Brené Brown, who once said, talk to yourself like someone that you love. It's very, very, very important. Like I said, that the way you treat yourself and the way you are, the energy that you give yourself is the energy that you are showing other people to give to you. So that's very, very, very important to understand what you're feeding yourself from your own love languages. So if your words of affirmation is your love language, I would suggest that you start speaking kindly to yourself and that you speak your ideals into existence, that you be careful of what you say, because the tongue is very powerful. In the tongue lies life and death. So just be careful of what you say about yourself. Also, maybe start journaling and write down mantras that you will recite, like I am beautiful, I am smart, I am capable. And maybe you need to start putting them like on the mirror, every morning. We want that I am beautiful, so you can start saying it to yourself, so you can start believing so that yes. And maybe you could write love letters to yourself, which I think is very, very, very cute. And then the second love language, which is physical touch, maybe dance, exercise. That's how you're catering to your love language. Maybe have massage or spa days or self-care days. Maybe you could wash your face, exfoliate, like just, you know what I'm saying, and maybe take long showers or bubble baths. And then the third one, receiving gifts, spend money on your hobbies, spend money on yourself. You know, if you like art, buy yourself supplies. If you like reading, buy yourself those books that you want to read. Less books are expensive, you know. And shop within your means, guys. Don't now break bank Just shop for what you can afford, which will still make you feel good. And you can always make yourself something cute and artistic and, you know, arts and crafty. Make yourself something nice. And then for the fourth love language, which is quality time, which I like saying is break time. Break away from noises, break away from people. Maybe you need to break away from social media. Maybe you need to break away from your family. Like, just sit by yourself, just to, you know, pull yourself towards yourself, like I said earlier, in the sense that many a times where a lot of things happen and they just carry us with the flow, and you barely have time to just ground yourself again and to listen to your thoughts, listen to your heart, and just assess where you're standing, assess where you're going, and just see if the route that you're taking is the route that you need to take for your destiny. So what you could do for quality time is you could take yourself out on a date. You could have solo dates. I think they're very, very cute. You could read or watch something by yourself, or you could just chill and meditate, you know, just to ground yourself. And then the fifth one being acts of service. You could go to therapy if you're really, really struggling with certain things that you can't handle by yourself. You could clean, and you could make sure that you live towards fulfilling your vision. If your vision is to maybe graduate with certain amounts of distinction, or to graduate with cum laude, make that your own make it your goal. Like, work towards it. That's you rendering that service to yourself, because one is going to do it for you. And then my challenge also, I want to remind y'all of what I said. Be your own Valentine this time. Even if you have a Valentine already, maybe have an extra one, and that being you. Buy yourself something cute, make yourself feel good. Valentine's Day is generally not just about other people. And I also just want to say that this is not just a video for Valentine's, but it's just a thing that you can exercise constantly. You know, it's not just on Valentine's Day when you should be kind to yourself. It's not just on Valentine's Day when you should feel loved. Love yourself every single day, honestly and truly. It's so beautiful to see a person aitata, and it's very inspiring. So yeah, and I just wanted to quote Rupika, who once said, how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you, which is pretty much very similar to what I said with how your treatment to yourself is the blueprint of other people's treatment towards you. So yeah, guys, and I also just wanted to close with two scriptures that I feel are very important to just keep at the back of our minds, being Genesis 1 verse 26, which says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And First John chapter 4 verse 8, which says, but anyone who does not love does not know God, for God is love. If you were made in God's image, you were made in love. It is your very nature to love. So you don't need another person if you have yourself to start off with, because your relationship with yourself spreads out and gives out its energy to other relationships that you have. And I just want to say, God's time is really the best time, and that each person has a time frame. For example, when you look at Jeremiah 29 verse 11, it says, I know the plans that I have for you. And Proverbs 3 verse 5, which says, trust the Lord with all your heart, your mind, and lean not on your own understanding. You may not understand what this season of solitude is for you, but best believe that it has a message, it has a teaching, and it has a meaning that will be valuable for the rest of your life. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. My name is Mamaneontshi, and this is Mamaneontshi Chats. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe tell me what your Valentine's plans are. Tell me what you're going to do for yourself, and subscribe to become Mzala Bazala. Thank you guys all so much for watching. To all the new Mzalas, welcome, my love. I love you guys all so much. Bye.